Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Do a crew here?
it's just yeah, it just is going to the house. It looks like it's got some cells in it. Yeah.
Yeah, let me buy it. Let me buy it. No, so Mitch gave me cashews to give to everybody. And my wife took it out of my car. So. Yes.
Call Michelle, get ready.
Yeah. All right, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Call caucus to order. Yeah, you writing this down? Oh, Jody's got it. Okay. Jody is. Jody is. All right, we'll call for nominations for village trustees. Any nominations?
Nominate Austin to
Van Zomer. Nominate Austin Van Zomer.
Second.
Call for any more nominations. Nominate Matt Knedorf.
Second.
Call for any more nominations.
Nominate Chad Wernland.
Second.
Got that, Joy? Call for any more nominations. Any more nominations for village trustee? One last time, any more nominations for village trustee? Okay. Well, then we'll adjourn the caucus. Your paperwork will need to be filled out. You have 5 days. Probably have your paperwork filled out. Jody? Is it business days or full days? I can't remember if it's business or actual full days. It's just days. There's no business about this. Yeah, yeah. I think only one time I've ever heard of somebody not getting their paperwork. All right, we'll call regular board meeting to order. Roll call. Here.
Sarandina. Here. Nadar.
Here.
Shivier. Here. Merlin.
Here.
Surratt. Here. Van Zomer.
Here. Okay, before we get to presentations, you didn't have it on here, but we'll have 2 minutes for public comments. Is it on here? Where do you have it?
Turn the radio channel.
You wanted to, oh, there it is. Why did you have it way down there?
Yeah, during the caucus.
Well, I know, we're not in the caucus anymore. Okay, we'll do the presentation. Sorry. All right, presentation of life-saving award to Brianne St. Ors and Rachel Majors. Tom Blair.
All right. If I could have Brianne and Rachel come up here. I guess you can stand up here. And Tammy, do you want to come up? So Matt mentioned this a little bit at our last meeting, but on December 5th, Friday, Tammy was working at the grocery store. She was changing the receipt paper on one of the self-checkouts just before she went to lunch when she had a cardiac event. She collapsed to the ground. Immediately, Brianne and Rachel stepped in, started performing CPR on her, and provided other life-saving measures. 911 was called immediately. I was one of the first ones on scene. They continued working CPR with me while I put my monitor on, provide some defibrillation, until other first responders got on scene and could relieve them. I was very impressed with the CPR they did. It was very awesome to see 2 people step up and provide life-saving care to somebody in that situation. I mentioned before, it was sort of weird because people were still shopping because we're doing CPR on Tammy. Tammy, we got some pulses back, went to West Wisconsin Health, we stabilized her, and we already transported her to United. You were released on Tuesday?
I went to Abbott.
Sorry, Abbott. You were released on Tuesday?
Yes.
Yeah, so transported on Friday, released on Tuesday. A month later, on the first Monday in January, she's back working at Nelson's grocery store. At this time, I have a couple of life-saving certificates here for Brianne and Rachel. So, thank you guys very much. If it wasn't for you, I think the outcome probably would have been a little different. So, thank you.
I'm so glad you're doing so well.
If you guys want, we can step on it.
Mr. Schulte, would you like to get this in the paper?
I will.
You want pictures? Everybody stands down here, let's get some pictures here, it's for the paper.
We can step out in the lobby and get some pictures.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. think most people would just walk by me, keep shot myself. I like kicking that, okay. Now we got the employee service. This is it here now, the employee service recognitions.
Yep.
Oh, the certificate of recognition of 5 years of service to the Village of Baldwin, Jody Peterson. Certificate of recognition for 5 years of service. Don't kill me on this. Joshua Walzak. Is that how you say it? Walzak? I said it correctly?
Yep.
Give it to Tom. Certificate of recognition of 5 years of service in the Village of Baldwin at the Department of Public Works, Graham Gosper. Certificate of recognition for 10 years of service in EMS, Chief Tom Boyer has 10 years.
Wow.
Thank you. Certificate of recognition for 15 years of service in the Department of Public Works, Craig Kent. He's not here. He's not here? One more, Tom. Another certificate of recognition for 15 years of service to the EMS, Erin Dooley. She's not here. Oh yeah, here's Josh. I got Josh's too. He had it for 5 years. I didn't butcher his name. Yeah, that's what I said there. Oh, yes. Am I supposed to get?
Yeah.
Yep. Here's Josh's too there. There's a,
Yep.
what kind of gift card?
Yep.
Small gift card in there. Jody. It's only $5, so. Yeah, you can almost get a full iced coffee. Thank you, everyone. All right, we'll get back to the fun stuff. Consent agenda 6, A through F. You see it on there in your packets? Anything pulled? If not, looking for a motion.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve consent agenda A through F. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Number 7, regular agenda. A, public comments. Public comments are limited to 2 minutes per person. The speaker must state their name and address for the record. Any public comments? You must be Candace.
Yes. Can I shut the door, please?
No, you can't because it's a public meeting.
Oh, okay. Where do I do this?
You can stand on the podium, you can stand right by your chair, wherever you'd like to do it.
Okay, I'll stand. I'm Candace Del Castillo, 170 6th Avenue, Baldwin. I am a well-respected citizen in this community. I am a double business owner, a Chamber of Commerce member, and a tax-paying citizen. Everything I speak here tonight is true. 8:15 a.m. on December 10th, 11th, or 12th, I'm not exactly sure which one, at Mill Pond Park, I parked on the east end of the massive snowbank. I didn't know that the trucks were dumping that snow that day, and I didn't see any signs to indicate it. I was the only one in that lot. While on my walk, I heard an enormous crash near the place I had parked and thought a dump truck had taken my van out. I returned to see that a full truckload of snow had been dumped just 3 feet from my van. Livid, I moved the van away from that spot and waited to talk to the driver. I told him he had barely missed my van. He lied about it and said the snow wasn't that close. When I pressed the issue, he admitted that he had dumped it that close and blame shifted, saying, "What were you doing parking there anyway?" I answered that there weren't any no parking signs. Then he said, "You were right in front of the snow mound," as if that would justify his nearly destroying my van. His behavior in that exchange was despicable, with no remorse or apology. This employee's name is Rich Kronk. After reporting it to Mark Valsing, I spoke with Graham Gaussman, who returned my call a day or two later, and he referred to this as my little situation. I assured him that this was anything but insignificant. The apology that I insisted on from Rich never came. I am requesting that a record of my words spoken here be put into Rich Cronk's employee file in hard copy and electronically due to his misconduct towards me as a citizen of the community he works for. This type of incident needs to be legally considered a crime. I am appealing to the council and the powers that be to move forward to that end in an efficient manner so innocent citizens can be properly vindicated and see justice served on their perpetrators. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Candace. Any more public comments? Stand up and state your name there, Mr. Craig Gerking.
I'm Craig Gerting, 900 12th Avenue, Baldwin here. I was wondering if the village has any plans for when ice invades Baldwin. Is there any plan by anybody? Police, the village board, anyone? Or is it just FAFO?
Craig, you know we can't answer you. We can't answer any questions you have in public comments. Just
Why
let you
not?
know. Because it's not on the agenda. So you can
Well, that was a
speak.
public comment.
It is, Paul. It's part of the, you have to be on the agenda, but we cannot answer any of your questions. We're legally binded,
Well, then why do we have public comments?
just as Candace did, was stating, you know, a comment, and
This is my comment.
I understand that.
And?
So,
Nothing.
no,
That-
so,
What do you mean, no? You just said we can't.
no, well, what you can do is, you know, first of all, you're making the board aware of your concern. That's what public comment's for. And you could follow that up with a call to the administrator or to the police chief or someone else during the week and ask that same question.
Will they get an answer?
I would hope you get a response from them, but it can't come tonight because we can't have a discussion about it, because it's not an agenda item.
Fantastic. Okay, that's all I wanted.
Any more public comments?
Melissa Anderson on behalf of Windmill Days. We didn't want to do an actual agenda item, just update you on where we're at. I don't know if you followed us, we did a Windmill Days wishes, and because of the support from the community, the board, partners for this specific program, we were able to donate to 4 different entities, 3 individuals and 1 organization, helping an older woman with stage 4 lung cancer, a single mom that's faced emotional traumatic events while graduating and moving away 2 hours for her first teaching job, starting her own apartment with nothing in her back pocket, and a 4-year-old with Wilms tumor who had to be pulled from school to reduce germs, and so we provided a bunch of experiences and educational packets for them to explore on their own. And then a $500 donation to the Safe Haven Box to the Baldwin EMS, a mission we completely fell in love with when they presented it here, so we were able to do that. And then we had a fellow Minnesota neighbor write to us and say, I don't live in your community or your state, but I think it's a fantastic that you're lifting up your citizens that are facing a life challenge. This is how all communities should be. I am so impressed with your community's kindness and grace for your fellow citizen. So, thank you.
Thanks, Melissa. Any more public comments? Last time for public comments. And we'll move on. B, review and approve TID 6 facade improvement program applications with Daria Valiga, Masonic Building at 790 Main Street.
Daria's here. So I don't know, Daria, if you want to come up to the podium, if there's any questions on this.
Sure.
Okay. So in the application, Daria has identified $35,196 in facade improvement eligible funding, which would 20% of that would be funded if the application's approved. That would be $7,039. So Derry, I don't know if you have any comments or anything.
Well, I heard originally there were some concerns that they may be not the facade walls specifically that were on the quotes, so I have gone through all that, have adjusted it, so now you will see only reflected the amounts for specifically the two walls that are visible from the corner of, from Main Street basically. So all those numbers are now correct and as to your guidelines.
I'll make a motion to approve the facade grant application.
I'll second that.
Got a motion second. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thanks, Daria.
Thank you.
Appreciate beautifying Main Street.
Thank you.
Right, C, Police Department Building Renovation Project. Project update from Paige.
All right, hello everyone. I have my colleague Hugh Chivek with me, who's going to handle kind of the second half of the update, but we just wanted to kind of go over construction schedule to start with, as we typically do. So there are dates on here, and I just want to be upfront that these dates are not accurate. There has been a slight slide to the timeline. We are still shooting for overall completion, I believe in early to mid-February. So nothing's slid, past that date. But some of these smaller dates that Berghammer was suggesting are not accurate anymore. So police garage substantial completion, that is slated for February 6th. I believe that date is, we're still working to meet that date. Berghammer's still working to meet that date. But the one below that, the exterior envelope completion date by January 1st, that was not met. They are in the process of finishing that up, but it is not, as you noticed from driving by, it's not totally closed yet. The DNR garage substantial completion date was December 26th. That has also not been met. The whole envelope is done, except for the overhead doors. There has been some back and forth with Berghammer on the submittals for those overhead doors. And it's just a warranty issue that we're trying to work out with them. So there's been some back and forth there. We think we should be getting closer to being able to, we're good on the actual doors themselves, it's just the operators that we're working out the warranty on. So hopefully that will be wrapped up here in the next week or so, because we do have some back and forth going with the manufacturers as well. So I know there was a desire to start using that on the 1st, and that has not been possible yet since it is not closed up with the garage doors. Aside from that, parking lot completion is still on track. We're going to do that second lift in the spring. And then the interior renovation, substantial completion, January 18th, that's going to push slightly too. That's going to push probably to February as well. As a side note, furniture, that delivery is slated for February 5th. So just because substantial completion is moving to February, it's not like the building could be used earlier than February 5th anyway, because we're waiting on that furniture. From a current status report, all interior walls have been drywalled and are being taped and mudded. And then doors and door frames are all installed now. On the exterior, the DNR garage is nearly complete, so it's just those overhead doors, and then there's just a few finishing touches out there as well. And then the police garage, the walls and roof framing has been completed, and exterior envelope is underway. We do have a change order on the docket tonight as well, so change order number 3. The total for that change order is $5,708. At our last meeting a month ago, I brought up these items and we decided to push these. So I've updated you on these ones before. It's not like these are, again, these items. It's the same ones I talked about last month. But we just pushed it to this month to be on the change order list. So that would be PR number 9 for dimensional signage. which has a total of $3,402. And that is just really based on the size of the signs at the exterior of police. In the project, it was a smaller sign, but based on review and discussion with the chief, it was decided that those should be larger, so that's just an upcharge for those, for that dimensional signage. And then PR number 10, the DNR existing window infill, as a reminder, that was just infilling a panel that is gonna be hidden above ceiling. And the drywall of that was all taken care of by Berghammer. This is just for the actual infill spandrel glass piece. That's $2,306. Is there any questions on the change order while I have everybody here?
What was the deal with that change order again last month? Why did we push that again?
Well, it was
The
approved
wiring.
at that special.
The wiring,
Yes, the
that's what it
wiring.
was,
The
the
wiring.
wiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was approved at a special meeting.
So
but
we
it was
just-
wiring, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we just split them up.
Yes, okay, that's right, that's what I missed, because I wasn't here for the special meeting.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's right.
Then I'm gonna hand it off to my colleague here, Gucci Vang, who has been leading the CA, construction administration portion of the project. So he'll go over next steps and our photos.
Hey,
Yep.
one
So
more
can I-
question,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
go ahead.
So can I make a motion to approve the change order while we're on that?
Yeah, I mean, we can do the change order right now, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve C2 change order, or is it
C3 is the change order.
change order?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the change order for, we have in there
$708.
$708. A motion and a second for it. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Paid one thing,
Yes,
so the openers,
yes.
you're dealing with the warranty on this, so then it's gonna be another month before they get here?
No, we're able to order the doors themselves. We should be able to get that order in, I think, tomorrow, right? Because we were able to determine that the doors are acceptable. It's just the operators, there's a 4-week lead time on that, I think. So 4-week lead time on the actual operators themselves. And it's really just what they're submitting is a 2-year warranty. And what we typically call for and what's specified is a 5-year warranty. So we're just trying to work out that little piece of it. We want to make sure that the village is getting what they paid for. So it's just that final piece.
Okay, because once that's operational, then we can start charging the DNR.
Yes, exactly. I know.
We get more of a lease payment once that building's done, so.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of back and forth. Berghammer's working with us, the sub's working with us, but it's just, it takes a little bit of time.
All right, that's all I had for you. Thanks, Paige.
So could I get final square footage on that building?
Yes.
Do you know the final cost yet? Is that still subject to change?
We should have that.
We should
so
have
I can
that,
send
yeah.
it to you.
Okay. That's what we'll base the lease payment,
Okay,
the way it's on.
we'll get that over to your team.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, no problem. All right, so next steps here, we're starting the exterior. This is the photo of last week, what they have done. It's much further than this, all the the plywood has been installed, so it's much more finished. But once they're done with enclosing this entire piece, what they're gonna do is they're gonna open up the inside of the building on the left side of this photo and connect the two buildings together so that they can keep everything enclosed and all the inside will be nice and clean. So you're gonna keep going down. Here's the DNR garage. It's basically all done without the garage doors. So, and the asphalt's gonna be finished in the spring. Keep going, Mark. On the interior side, so here you can see all the chipboard and all the muddy has started. Once this is finished, they should start painting real soon this week. And once the painting's done, then the ceiling tiles and ceiling grids are gonna go in a week after, so it's gonna move pretty fast from here. All the frames are being installed, so storefronts should be coming in soon too. We have one last photo. So this is gonna be the garage connection into the outside. They still have windows there. That's all gonna be removed. And then they're gonna create an opening into the garage and cut it into 2 spaces. On the left side there is the bathrooms and the locker rooms. There will be serving the police side. Any questions?
Looks good. I had a grand tour from the chief of
Oh,
police
nice.
on Friday, so,
Awesome.
There you go.
yeah,
I was just
it
gonna
looks
ask if
nice.
anyone's been out there, but yeah, it's great.
Yep.
It sounds like DNR is pretty, we talked to some of the wardens out there, so they're pretty happy with their new space. A little dusty yet, but
Yeah.
they understand fully, so.
Yep.
Did they get all their desks and all that moved back?
So they're still working with Berghammer on that. They couldn't find a mover to move all their furniture, so they're actually hiring Berghammer to help them out. So they're working it that way.
Did all their data jacks and all that get done?
Yep, it did. We clarified all that stuff, so it should be all worked out.
And the wardens said they were, the Berghammer guys were really good to work with,
Oh yeah,
so,
they put up some furniture for them for free, so it was pretty nice.
awesome. Yeah, I don't, moving along, I mean, I figured it was gonna be February anyway, but, I mean,
Yeah.
we're still doing pretty good for getting in the ground in October. I
We
mean,
are,
I
yeah.
can't complain one bit about how fast this is moving, so.
Yeah, the whole timeline that they've put out there and that they've been meeting has been very, very quick. So the fact that we're a little bit behind now from what they were saying, while still meeting a February completion, we're still in really good shape, so.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. You wanna take over and sit here? You can start.
No, I just wanted to make sure
Yes,
we were
that's-
in process.
We are going C2, discuss and approve pay request for $281,021.40. We have a motion. Motion to approve. We got a second. Questions or comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Committee reports. A, Water and Sewer Committee met January 7th, 2026. You got the minutes there. Matt and I and a few people with us. This Todd Batchelor from Weaver's Cabinet. So maybe we can have Matt explain this a little bit more because he knows the system, what kind of happened in his building.
So this would be out at the Weaver's Cabinet over by the new police station. DNR Public Works was over there doing maintenance on a hydrant. There was some type of water hammer, which is either you open or close the fire hydrant too fast. It was being done by our Public Works guys. At that same time, their fire suppression system activated. The heads didn't activate luckily, but they have what's called a wet system. All their pipes, they don't have any water in it.
Dry system.
Or a dry system, it's not a wet system. So what happens is, the pipes in the building are filled with air, with just compressed air. Well, when there was a water hammer, it must have hit that valve right, and it bled the air off and filled the system with water. Luckily, none of the heads went off, but the type of system they had to have their fire company, inspection company come out, their sprinkler company come out, drain the system, fill it back with air, and just breathe. So, he asked that, when we service that hydrant next time, we have to shut the water off to their building, as we do as a couple other businesses in town. So, we'll do that, and then, this shouldn't happen again, but he had a $700 bill for his fire company to come out and breathe. So, Lance and I, we approved, or as a committee level, we approved the bill to be paid, recommending the board
Recommended board, yeah.
to the bill to be paid, so.
And I guess Graham was saying that there is some issues with the actual hydrant was kind of hopping a little
Yeah.
bit to an extent, or there's some,
We've had issues with that hydrant before, I know, but not to this extent, so we gotta look into it this summer, obviously. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna have to shut off the water service to their building when we flush a hydrant, just to make sure we don't create any issues. Now we know.
We'll just need to.
so yeah, we just need to approve that, we recommended paying that $700 and some odd bill. And, he understood if we didn't or not, but he was, pretty nice guy about everything, and I think it was kind of on our end. So,
Second.
got a motion and a second to pay Todd Batchelor from Weaver's Cabinet, bill for his fire suppression system. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Matt and I also had a little small meeting with Ehlers. We're looking into a water study right now, and we're just in the very fine steps of it, so there's really nothing to report to the board. It'll be a few more meetings, I think, so. That's all we had for the Water and Sewer Committee. Planning Commission was January 5th, 2026. You guys see the minutes. We'll discuss and approve the conditional use permit, the PUD, for 2530 Gracie Drive. Personnel Committee had nothing. They approved it. It was just kind of cut and dry for the first steps of them putting in their, I think they said 82 unit count right now, and then there might be a second phase in the future. But it was just a conditional use permit for it, and there was no, Cammy didn't even show up. We had Spencer McMillan, one of the landowners right next door, and he's all for it. So he was just seeing how it was, but he's all for this. So there was no complaints from anybody on it. I would assume that they have paid all their stuff, the next will be the, what is it, the contract, or the, what's the next step?
So development.
Development agreement, so this is just the first step, so. We recommended approval to the board for this.
So I'll make a motion to approve the conditional use permit request.
Motion second, questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Discuss and approve the site plan submission for the complex. I think there was only one thing holding back on that. They went down to a 24-foot driveway, which I guess our ordinance says 26 feet, but the common denominator is everybody does 24 feet. So we just kind of washed and said that's perfectly fine. There was nothing from Eric.
Eric said Village Baldwin was the only one that they've seen that is stuck at 26.
At 26, he said all the other communities around here that they deal with is all 24, so we just kind of, yeah, everything was good. There was nothing to, everything on the site plan met all those specs and standards that they were expecting, so.
What's your first site plan?
Then motion is a second for the site plan. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. See the TID Board of Review, January 6th. You saw the minutes on it. You got anything for it?
No,
No.
it's just information.
It's just information on it.
It's the final step in the approval of
Yep.
the TID.
All right, department heads, we don't have our village engineer. Mitch, you got anything?
I don't have much. Graham and I met and did a preliminary plan, flip through end of December. So we're working on those, bringing those forward. We'll probably have another meeting within this month, kind of getting towards final plans. And then we got info from Albrightson to finish up assessment quantities and record drawings for last year's project. So working on those too.
Okay.
You don't have final plans yet?
For next year's project? No.
For this year's project?
Yeah, this coming year's project, we've not seen final plans yet, we're working on those right now. Tentatively planning end of February, start of March bid timeline.
Do you see any major utility moves?
I have not, I guess, once we get them to more of a final stage, we'll be sending them out before bid time to all the utility
I
contacts.
just want to make sure, because you know that whole project is duck pack.
Mhm.
What's that mean?
That's
Just curious.
our major underground.
Oh, that's that big one that's got the concrete around it or whatever? Oh, yeah.
I would say this one should be a little less worry with not having a large storm sewer running down like Ninth did. We don't have any large pipe that should be in conflict with that. Sewer water is all deeper and a lot smaller. So
I'm just not speaking for us either, I'm speaking for all utilities, whether there's a gas main move or a pole move, I just want to make sure this one
A lot of the pole moves as far as Maple and Eighth were handled last year with last year's project. There's a couple on Maple that still need to be moved, as far as Excel goes.
We better get Excel on it now because they might get it
Yeah,
by
we have,
October.
we have the right contact now,
Okay.
because last year they didn't notify that your previous contact retired.
Yeah, that's right, we talked about that, the previous contact retired.
Just left all this behind.
Yeah, he just,
Fine.
yeah, he just retired, and nobody gave, yeah, it was all going to his email and no one was ever checking,
That's all.
so. Bid this out by what, March?
Yeah, early March would be the like latest that I would want to, hopefully end of February to start of March.
Right. Okay,
Start of March has been your timeline for the past few.
okay,
So.
thanks, Graham.
All right, so as Mitch just said, Craig and I met with Mitch to go over those plans. We had some good discussions about some different ideas within the scope of the project. So we're gonna meet again here soon to finalize those. In the shop, we've been working on maintenance on vehicles, equipment, general cleaning, upkeep, all of that type of things. The snow and the rain have kept us kind of busy with the ice. Now it's creating all sorts of issues with the sump pumps, pumping with all the rain we got. So now we're got ice in a lot of the gutters. We've been trying to remove the chalk, trying to keep it off the road, keep the water flowing when it does rain again. Active tree service, still been cutting out some trees in the boulevards when they got time. In the spring, they'll grind those stumps down and then we'll put black dirt in there. Replant trees where appropriate. Some areas are not gonna get trees, they're just not a real great spot to have a tree anyway, so. In the spots that are appropriate, we'll replant. Obviously not ash trees, a different variety of trees. Mitch and I have been working a little bit here with updating some water-related expenses for that water rate study with that Ehlers. As far as project costs in the future, they kind of want to have that figured into their study. The Parks Department, working on picnic tables, repairing and staining in between snowfall events. The outdoor hockey rink, we completed that flooding probably in the middle of December. Rich Gronk has been out since the end of December due to surgery. Should be back either the 2nd or the 9th, depending on what they tell him. And Jeremy's been working on wastewater plant operations. We're still looking at some different ideas for equipment and vendors for a few different areas that we've been discussing to help optimize how the plant runs. I just found out the other day that those actuators for the sand filters, they should be getting installed the end of January. The ones that have gotten installed were too small, ended up not working, so now they got kind of the beefier one basically, and those should be installed end of January. As far as the thickener, that should be still May timeframe. They haven't updated us anything since then. I guess one thing I'll say too in that thickener, so our sludge goes out to biosolids in Ellsworth, and previous to us having this thickener, obviously we weren't able to thicken very well. But with this thickener, we're the top solids sending down to biosolids now as far as as thick as we can get it without them causing issues. So we went from being the middle of the pack on that to being one of the top one as far as percent solids. That just means less truckloads for us sending down there. So actually we got our final numbers from this year, and we actually hit the same number of loads. We're under 100 loads a year, which previous to 2023, it was always over 100 loads. So it might not seem like a lot, but every load we can save, sending one down there, it helps us out in cost-wise. So I guess that just shows us that the piece of equipment we're going to get, it's the same one we're using right now, performing well, and it's a great sign for us because we made the right decision to go with mechanical thickener instead of that one that we did have, and we would have never got even close to the solids we're going to do now. So, yeah, it's working well. Any questions?
No, I will add, talking back with Mitch a little bit in this Albrightson thing, Graham, Mitch, and I, and 3 representatives from Albrightson sat down here, first part of
Same day, end of December.
End of December.
Yeah, when we had the plan put through, those same
When we
days.
looked through the plan and stuff like that, and we sat down and talked about their, being late and everything like that, and this will still be a board agenda item probably in May.
Yeah, I was gonna
When
say,
they-
well, they're gonna have a spring walkthrough on
Yeah,
a few
spring walk.
items, and retainage is gonna be withheld until then.
Yeah,
so
there's
that'll
some
be-
punch list stuff, they gotta fix some sidewalk, they gotta do some black dirt. We talked about liquidated damages, what errors charge us extra for those 30 some odd days or whatever it was.
26.
We will still debate about it, and it's not a final thing, but they did agree to pay all the heirs' fees. But just to throw you guys at that, but we will debate that in, when we get the final bill for, after the punch list, but they were willing to do that at least, so we'll talk about that in May. So, thanks, Graham.
Yep.
Chief Moore.
All right, so we'll start out with calls for service and cases, citations, those are all within reason for this time of year. It has been busy the last, over the holidays, it wasn't too bad, it's just been busy with the new year and everything, and we're making it through it. So just an employee update, we're fully staffed, and feels good. Sergeant Getty has officially started. He's been a great addition. He seems like he has great leadership qualities on the meter, and it's a natural for the position. Training update. Officers attended today and yesterday. It's kind of considered like an unbiased policing type session. It's called What You Do Matters, Lessons from the Holocaust. You know, it's a little different. It's outside the box, but it's good. It was very engaging. I attended it as well. Its emphasis as it goes through the history and how everything occurred and transpired. And the lesson in the end is what we do matters. Everything that we do, every interaction we have with the community and members matters. So I thought that was good for us to go through. That also aligns with our commitment here at the police department. Kind of solidifies that. Squad update and stuff. We have equipment that has been ordered, and our squad car should be arriving sometime in April, maybe May. So once that comes in, it'll be around that time frame where we get all the equipment added and updated and get that thing on the road. I talked before about the rifle buyback program that we'll do within the department. We are right now just going through, we created a work group within the PD so we could establish what best fits our needs. We already have a pretty good idea, but we just want to make sure we get the right equipment and it's solid. So next step will be purchasing probably around the end of January, maybe February, and hopefully get everything up and rolling with our officers with their rifles in March sometime. I put this in there. I've been working on an annual report, and I want to try to present that to you hopefully next month, which will just highlight our department, things that we've accomplished, different resources that we have available to present to you. It's quite a project, so I didn't realize I was getting into so much. So I just don't hold me to it, but March. Yeah.
Thanks, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Chief Boyer.
So, you guys see the numbers there. December was a pretty busy month. End of the year, the last 4 months of the year were busier than they had been in previous years. So we actually had more runs this year than we did last year. 179 calls in December, 64 of which were transfers. We put some miles on the trucks. Last Monday in December, we did 6 transfers on one day and 4 went to Abbott. Hospitals needed to move patients. We did the blood drive. We actually did another one here on the 12th. That's been working really well with the Red Cross. We're getting good turnouts. Working with them. We had Christmas Eve. We had actually several walk-ins. So it's good to see we exceeded the goals they had for us that day. The radio grant, or interoperability grant, Kevin and I finished the last stuff up the end of last week, and that grant has been submitted now officially. So it closes the 15th, which I think is tomorrow, and we should hear something about mid to end of February. The first rounds will come out, so fingers crossed on that. The GMT, we will be seeing 2024 reimbursements will be coming out in February. Found that out yesterday. So fingers crossed we get our reimbursements on that. I was able to get the numbers from our old billing company for 2025. Our new billing company is pulling their numbers now. So I should be able to start working on the 2025 stuff here in the next week or two. That closes in May, so we got time on that one. And then the St. Clair County wrote a big grant. They created the Community Coordinated Response Team. I'm a member on that for EMS. I think Jeff Kennett's representing law enforcement. We have ARDC, social services, hospitals, mental health. As our county's aging, we're seeing a lot of evidence of elder abuse and how to identify it, how to treat it, how to get them out, how to, deal with that process. Is it abuse versus neglect? Or walk that line too. So we're working together to establish some education, pass out to EMS, law enforcement, all the agencies, and make sure people are aware at all levels when some signs are coming in. Because we've had a couple of pretty horrific cases we've dealt with last year alone, and I think it's probably just increasing here a little bit. So hopefully we can get ahead of that and do some good with that community. But that's all I got.
Tom, one question.
Yep.
Where are we at with this baby drop-off box thing?
We are fundraising for the installation.
You guys know what this is about. This is a good thing.
No, it's the way you
What
word
do you want me to
it.
call? What do you want me to call it again? What's it called? It's a safe haven. Okay, sorry. Safe haven. Free childcare. Yeah, your baby was ready to just drop your kid off in a box and shove it in there.
So Knights of Columbus have done a lot of fundraising. I think they got $15,000 already. So we have enough to cover the box, and we got to get to some of the install fees. So we are working with some contractors in the area like Linda's to see what they can do for some pricing to get that installed. And once we have all that lined up and then we have the funds reached, we'll be good to go to install that. So like the windmill days did 500. Parents working with Knights of Columbus to do a fundraiser event to try to finish out the rest of it. And then on the newsletter flyers that went out, links there, so we're starting to see some stuff trickle in for that too. So starting to come in, but we're wrapping things up. So
Thanks, Tom.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead, Rudy.
I just wanted to let Tom know that my husband came home from a standard CPR training with the fire department the other night. And in the 40-plus years he's been taking CPR training, he's never had a class that was conducted so well as the one he had with John Cook the other night. And I just wanted you to know that for him to actually say something, it was a big deal. So it must have been a very great.
Did Jeff remember the CPR training?
I'll
Not as
pass,
well as he remembers his not training, so.
I'll pass on to John, but thank you. I've heard that from Glenn Meyer.
Yes, yes.
Good.
Nice job.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Chief Librarian.
So there's a couple big things that came out of the library. We were the recipients of a $3,000 Packer grant, in case you didn't see me all over the front page of the paper. That is set aside specifically to work with the Spanish collection, with signage for the Spanish, making sure we're serving that part of our population. The other grant we just received yesterday, $750 from the Woodville Lions Club. That has been earmarked to buy more Vox and Wonder books. So these are picture books with the little player. When you all were younger, you maybe had books on CD or books on cassette. Well, now instead of those things, the player is attached to the book. So they're called Vox or Wonder books. And they have donated $750 to the library so we can put a huge portion of that. We'll put it all towards Vox and Wonder books because we currently have 3 and they are in high demand. So. We started weeding, then my staff got the month of December off from weeding. We started back with adult fiction on like January 4th. So it's just always going to be a constant issue. This year we are not weeding the whole library. We're doing more targeted weeding. We are offering the first after-hours, adult after-hours program. It is mocktails and trivia. So think of your bar trivia. We're going to have bowls of popcorn and bowls of pretzels and bowls of peanuts for everybody to dig their grubby little hands in like we do at the bar.
You know my wife was slightly disappointed about mocktails, right?
Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to serve liquor.
I know.
So
It's already discussed.
I know.
she's not the only one to give me crap about it. We're also going to try something new at the library. It's called Neuro Time. We're going to open an hour early one Wednesday a month. We're going to leave our lights down. We're going to keep it really quiet, ultra quiet, so those that have those sensitivities feel more welcome at the library. We're going to give this a try and see how that works. And then in January, we kicked off a year-long adult reading challenge. So every month, they will get 4 reading prompts. They can choose to participate that month or not participate that month. And then they get to spin the prize wheel with the complete one, because who doesn't like a fun prize wheel? And then in your packet should be the January newsletter and calendar. And then at the bottom of your sheet are all the Q4 numbers for circulation. We added a ton of new items. And so you can see all those numbers. Annual report will be done the end of January. So usually around March, we'll have all the final numbers for 2025.
That was my wife. That was my wife dropping off stuff, so she took out my car, so. Thank you.
Questions?
Sorry. No, looks cool. A lot of cool things going on.
Congratulations on those.
Thank you. We had a gentleman today asking, he saw my sponsorship from last year's sponsors that are still up. How could he get his name on there? And so I think in February he's cutting the library a check to cover some of our summer reading programs, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll believe it when the check's in my hand kind of concept. But the fact that he was interested in how could he get his name up, so.
Where do you and Molly have to go?
We got to go to Lambeau Field.
I was gonna say, when you have a picture with Bonnie Holiday.
I do have a picture with, so yes, the picture on the front of the paper is with Bonnie Holiday. He played for the Packers for 5 years, the end of the 90s and the early 2000s. And he actually then went to several different teams after that, but retired as a Packer. And it was fun, we got to hear him talk, and it was a hoot. So. And they fed us really well.
Good. Thanks, Beth. Mark? Keep it short.
Okay. You know it. Just a couple items. I put in an update from the food pantry. We haven't talked about that for quite a while. Their 26th budget, just for information. The food pantry, I will tell you, I'm on the board of that, in that new location is really doing well. Numbers are up, it's hopping. Donations are up, so it's really, and they've done a great job with the inside of that place.
A lot more exposure.
Yes, yeah, so it's really smoking, really doing good. That's my main message. Also, the St. Croix County Economic Development Corporation annual banquet, if anybody's interested in going to that, let me know. Like, Matt, I don't know if you're gonna go.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
I wasn't welcome. What? At PTI.
Well, you were there last year.
Mark can stay home, I'll go with you. Come on. No.
Yeah, that's all
No,
right.
that's fine, I don't care.
February 26th. And then update on Cami apartment development. We talked about PUD was approved. So the next thing, Paul, will be to, I don't know if you have just a template of a development agreement or.
I'm talking about the TIF.
Yeah, are there gonna be 2 different ones or? Okay. So, yeah, we'll have to talk about that, but that'll be the next step. And I think, you know, it sounds like they want to be in the ground pretty quick, so we'll see what that means now that, you know, the floodgates are open and they can go. So
Well, we'll see.
So what is this update on?
Can't we, the apartments?
Can we just approve it?
Yeah.
This is for the, yeah, it's just an update about developers agreement and coming up.
They're not gonna start until they get the TIF money, are they?
That's what I'm.
Well, they were talking about trying to start originally in January,
Now,
once everything was approved, so I don't know.
they're gonna wait for this TIF thing to go through. You gotta remember, we took 6 weeks, you heard nothing from them, until you emailed them and all of a sudden, boom, you
Yeah.
got a phone call.
Maybe when the development agreement's done,
So
let's
I
start. But
don't hold your breath, everybody.
I think they want to start pretty soon.
It'll be at least spring, though, come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hurry up and wait, that's how it always is.
there you go.
Just single-family housing development, a couple things, focus on Cedar. I think we're gonna see Berkstaff addition coming. I mean, they're out there now surveying, doing borings and some other stuff at the end of Cedar.
That's a twin home, kind of the final phase of that whole area up there. They called me last fall and said they were planning on coming to get approval, which I guess might be just the final plat part of it. And then I did have a call from a realtor that's working with a property owner, not that I can say who it is, but kind of like across the road, sort of, for a single family. And that would be awesome if we get some more single family going.
Yeah.
So I hope they, that starts rolling, but we'll see. So, that's it.
All right, we'll take a slight break here and we jump into closed session quick. Yes. Yes. Officer Moline, Mr. Moline, you can stay for this. This closed session, so you're not gonna be kicked out of the union. No, I don't really think.
Always, Paul.
No, Paul, you can leave too, I'll let you. There's one short here? There's a board one in here, a board doesn't need one. There's four. Yeah.
Oh, then I'm good. I thought there was only 3 there.
Because I got Amy, Mark, Morgan, I can't remember what this one.
Well, I got the extra, so before you were gonna have to split up.
Right.
Wait, so you're saying I got one?
No.
Christine get one? I can't remember.
No.
Christine?
Christine, Chad, that one there.
That's your cashew, is that
Thank you for
they've
my
been
shoes.
pulling off my
That
car.
let's try to sorry.
Hey, you're not going to get it, right?
I called it out.
I figured you would see all of them before I was here at this meeting, so I gave them to him at our meeting.
I know it says
Did you
4%.
make any glasses yourself?
Perfect.
Oh, yes, and I handpicked the cashews, packaged them
That's like,
all.
I ran out to get it. I had to make it.
Yeah, somebody made that joke today, and I handed some out.
I need to like buy a shelf now to display this in my living room, like, you know. Thank you so much.
Yeah, see you later. Yeah, we. Go to the bathroom.
These are staff box.
Oh, nuts. Right, got me a gel when I eat all the time.
So, you mean,
Mark.
oh, thank you. Hold it.
I don't know about what, so.
I'll tell you.
Well, that would be an easy election.